Starkey. Coach Mulkey's under the weather after the game, so Bob's going to fill in for her here. Just a couple notes. Jersey had a career high in points and rebounds tonight. So Aneesah Morrow, her third consecutive game with at least 15 rebounds. And of course, we're going up to the Mohegan Sun to play Seton Hall, and then after that, we go to Illinois-Chicago homecoming game for Aneesah. So we'll open it up for questions for the players, and then we'll move on to Coach Starkey.
Hey, Aneesah, just wanted to check in on you and see how you're feeling. I know you took a hard fall there.
Yeah, I'm good. The games are very physical, and I'm trying to get used to it, but yeah, I'll be all right though. But I'm good.
Well, while you're here, Aneesah, can you talk about making a trip back home coming up, and what's that going to mean to you?
It's going to mean a lot to me being able to come back in the city. I know I stayed in the city first and experienced my first 2 years in college there, and being able to just mature and grow up and move away from home, but actually being able to come back home and play for my city is going to be fun.
Jersey, when did you find out you're going to be starting today, and how did that change your mindset?
Coach Mulkey gave me the opportunity yesterday in practice and told me to be ready. I think just making sure that mentally I'm staying ready, physically I'm staying ready for whatever opportunities the coach throw at me, kind of just motivate my performance today.
Jersey, the wolf noise people make when you score, has that always been something, or did that pick up here, or where'd that come from?
Yeah, I think it started with our practice players one game. They started doing it when they came, our dream team came to the game and they started doing it. So I think it picked up here. They've never done it before, and then it just kind of taken off. And I like it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, Jersey, for you, after you had learned that you would be in that starting role today, did you feel like you needed to approach game day once today showed up? Did you approach it any differently? Was it the same? And just kind of walk us through kind of your rhythm and your pattern and what you try to do today.
Yeah, my approach to every game is the exact same. I think today, just understanding that my role was going to be a little different starting. I had to start quick. I had to start strong. I had to do the little things. I think that's why coaches, are beginning to trust me and giving me more opportunities, because I am showing them, like, I'll work for you, and I think that's something that I'm able to bring, my speed and my ability to be coachable.
Another one for Jersey, if I may. I've noticed you haven't taken a single three-pointer yet this season. I'm wondering if that's coincidental or is it purposeful there?
It's what the game gives me. I play down low a lot more, so I'm not on the perimeter a bunch, but given any opportunity, I'll be ready for it.
Got any more for the girls? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, questions for Coach Starkey?
Back to 2007 here, Coach Starkey. Were you really afraid when Aneesah went down? That's almost the same spot Jalen Reed went down the other day. It didn't look good at first. What did they tell you about her?
Well, she just hit it hard on the bone on the floor. It wasn't anything structural with her ligament or anything, and it kind of split the skin there a little bit. But anytime a player hits the floor, it's a concern, and certainly with Niece, she plays so hard.
What did you see out of Wolfenbarger today, her effort and the game that she played?
Well, I thought she gave us a spark, and I thought we were desperately in need of a spark today. We were, as a staff, disappointed with the way our team played today. We've been imploring them to start games quicker. We tend to start slow. So in the first half, I thought we did a nice job of defending them, but we were atrocious offensively. 17 turnovers. And that's not to take anything away from Louisiana, because I thought their kids played hard and they're a well-coached team, but it was just very sloppy. We're disappointed our fans had to watch that. And then we clean up the turnovers a little bit, but we can't guard them. We can't keep them in front of us. So we just didn't have a very good performance, but the shining star was Jersey. She was able to finish. She was able to rebound. She was able to contest and help from a defensive position. And more importantly, I thought she was consistently good for the 40 minutes. where we couldn't say that for anybody else.
Bob, I know you're a defensive guy. So when the team on the offensive end was having some issues taking care of the ball, how proud of you were that on the other end of the floor, they were doing the same thing to whom they were playing, which allowed you guys to sort of keep that cushion?
Well, it's hard to be proud for 15 or 20 minutes of effort or 15 or 20 minutes of execution. The standard here is different. The goals here are different. We're looking for 40 minutes of quality basketball, and we haven't found that yet. It's a little bit concerning. I think that's a little bit of a character test. Us having the understanding of if we want to accomplish the things that we say we want to accomplish, we got to develop a level of toughness where we can play for longer periods of time, and we can't be a team that plays well defensively, not offensively, and comes back and then plays offensively but not defensively. We need to start finding ways to put together quality minutes on both ends and creating separation, especially when we're playing a non-conference opponent.
Bob, there's 7 SEC teams in the top 25 versus 2 at the same time last year. What do you think that this team is going to be challenged the most on once you get into SEC play next month?
Well, certainly sitting here today, consistency and mental toughness. You can't have laws when you're playing. Forget the ranked teams in the SEC, the non-ranked teams. You've got to be able to take care of the basketball for 40 minutes. You can't have defensive breakdowns. You have to get quality shots. The other thing that we're not doing well is we're not reversing the basketball and making them guard us. We're taking quick shots. We're trying to hurry up and win the game. So we've got a lot of things to clean up in a very short amount of time if we want to have the type of SEC season that we're capable of having. And again, just a short amount of time to get there.
Coach, the turnover issues, is that something you've been working on throughout the season, and how have you gone about trying to fix them and help them, get rid of those issues?
Well, there's a wide variety of things you can do to work on turnovers. Certainly, there's skill development, which we do. Practice, we work against scrimmage guys, so we're working against bigger, faster, stronger. We have a series of passing and feed the post drills. But the turnovers today were just careless. Watching us play, we weren't mentally ready to play today. And that's the concerning part. And I know we're coming off finals and all those things, but we're not a program that uses excuses. If you look at those 17 turnovers in the first half, I would say probably 13 to 14 were unforced, meaning we just threw the ball to somebody or we dribbled off our foot, or we just rolled in and charged over a defender that was standing there. It wasn't necessarily being trapped or picked. The turnovers were by our own account, and that was frustrating. Again, we cleaned that up the second half, but we didn't have the energy or the fortitude to defend.
Do you think the students having this break where they're not in class, you can work with them a little bit more? Will that help at all, trying to get them on track, focus on basketball while they're on this break?
Well, it's interesting because this is the first game that we're playing, and this is a really difficult stretch. We're getting ready to play 3 games in 5 days in 3 different time zones. We were Central, then we're going to go Eastern, then we're going to go back to Central. So we'll get up tomorrow morning at 7:30. We'll watch film and we'll walk through a little bit because their legs are going to be tired, and then we're going to jump on a plane and go, and then the next day we'll have a walk through, a shoot around, then we'll play, and then the next day we'll get on a plane. And so in this particular phase before Christmas, your preparation is more mental than physical, and I think that's really, really important. We have a saying, the mental is to the physical is 4 is to 1. So we got to be focused and concentrated and watching film and the little bit of walkthrough that we do to get prepared. I think coming back from Christmas is a very critical, important time for us to have concentrated minutes without distraction of school and other things that go on. So maybe we can improve on some of these things.
Got time for a couple more here.
Bob, I know you guys have already played 12 games, but do you still feel like the newcomers and the nucleus that you did have back from last year's team, are they still finding how they fit with one another?
That's a great question. I think we have a void at leadership. And when you do that, that can affect your team chemistry. We have certain players that want to lead at certain times, and that's another area where we're not consistent. And I know one of the things that Coach has worked on and always works on, and she's amazing at it, is combinations, especially in the non-conference part of the season. There's a lot of things that she does because she's thinking long-term, will this work? Will this lineup work? What can we do with this lineup? So I think from that standpoint, we're still looking at combinations. And we had to replace a point guard, which is not an easy thing to do. That's a timing issue. And then you lost your key player in Angel. And, Kim has constantly told our kids we don't have to replace Angel singularly. But between Samaya and Jersey and Lily, we should have a double-double from those three collectively. And they've done a decent job of that. I just continue to harp on the fact that we got to do some of the things well consistently. Like, you go back to Stanford, we had some really good moments to get back in that game, but we needed a lot more of them. Same thing with Washington. We had a lot of good moments against NC State, but we just have to come out and find a way to stack days and stack minutes and stack extended good periods of time.
Last question here with Reed.
Real quick, do you have an update on Cheyenne, when she might return to the court?
No, I don't. I know she's working hard with Amanda Barbie with the rehab process. I think she's getting better every day. There's no question she's getting better every day. I know she actually got some shots up with Coach Reedus and Coach Augustus yesterday. So, I don't know if she'll be available the next two games or not. But that Christmas break will certainly come at a great time for her.
And then having a point guard and trying to incorporate a new person into that position, is that maybe a reason behind some of the turnover issues that have cropped up? Today?
Well, the thing about incorporating a new point guard is timing and execution. It shouldn't have anything to do with effort or turnovers or mental mistakes. So certainly the consistency there will help, but there's some things we did today that, to be honest with you, I think we'd have done if Shy would have been out there. And those are the things we have to fix, the things that we can control. We need a little bit of mental toughness, a little bit more concentration, and it may take getting our butt beat to get their attention. We've came close already, several times. And I promise you, Seton Hall will stretch us. They're very, very well coached. Very well coached. They got quality players. And the thing that's still difficult, I think, for our players to grasp is how hard and how well teams will play against us because those three letters across our chest. This is an important game for Louisiana. It was an important game for Tulane. It was an important game for Stanford. It'll be an important game for Seton Hall because they get a chance to play LSU. So we get everybody's best shot, both emotionally, both mentally, both physically. And right now we're just struggling a little bit to match it.